Nice tune-up, again, another tune-up game for us to see where we're at. I thought the kids really came out and played with a lot of energy, a lot more than last game, a lot more enthusiasm, urgency. We went over some stuff that we can control, doesn't take talent to do, and they did that. So it started with Dakota and Tessa on the defensive end with Nicole and those guys, and then others came in and did a nice job. So always something to learn, but we're very happy with our effort and our energy. And they played the zone the whole game, so that's harder to go against because we hadn't seen any and we haven't really practiced any zone offenses. But we pulled some old ones out of the bag and got a couple little things off of it. So, questions?
How do you think you guys performed against the zone tonight, for especially you young guys who are seeing it for the first time?
Some of them really didn't recognize where people were. It was a sea of red in the middle where the BIG is, and nobody flashed in there. You gotta, recognize that and get in there. But the older ones, these vets know, and so when they came in, you see it was a little bit different. Find each other in the middle. If you fake to the outside, you go middle. You got to turn and be able to shoot that. So Kayla got a couple of looks there. A couple of people got a couple of looks. Now you just got to knock the shot down. Rosie had a look there. She hit her shot. So you got to work those short corners in that high post and try to keep that ball off the wing, because then they can be help side and cover you a little bit easier. When the ball's in the middle of the floor, it's a lot harder. Even for a zone, it's a lot harder.
It seemed like towards the end of practice on Tuesday, you guys were working a lot on trying to attack the 2-3 zone, and it seemed like the stuff you were working on came to fruition tonight. How nice is that to see in an exhibition game, stuff you work on come to fruition on the court?
It's nice. It makes you feel like you're not wasting your time. I'm glad we saw a zone, because now we have some video to look at, and we can show them where the holes are, and then the next time we see it, we can exploit that. Because the zone, you really can't cover everything. People are running to spots and running away from spots, and if you flash at the right time, you'll get it every time. You'll get an open shot every time. And they got some on us. We try to practice our zone a little bit, and that little number 3, I think, she's a shooter. She's little, but she can stroke it.
Dakota, it seemed like you kept the pace fairly quick a lot of the night. Is that a pace that you think you guys play best at?
Yeah, definitely. In terms of transition, with their zone, it's kind of hard to get that, but it's definitely something that we're always going to look for. And I think that, when you have defensive pressure and intensity, it helps your game, just amp up to the next level. So I think that's where it started for me, and then I feel like it just trickled down to my teammates, and we all got to it.
Nicole, it looked like you're hitting your shot off your dribble really well tonight. Is that something you work on a lot in practice, or are we just seeing the defense back off and then hitting those shots?
No, definitely. I work on that every day in practice. So does everyone else. It's just kind of like when you get the ball and you don't have your shot and you drive, usually if no one steps up, you have your pull-up. If they do step up, you either have a dish or all the way to the basket. So, yeah, we work on that a lot.
And more broad, I guess, what are you looking forward to for your senior year, I guess, both individually and as a team, just overall?
I'd say individually just to play to the best ability that I can. But more so as a team, we just want to be more in sync than we were last year. And one of the biggest things is finishing games. There were a lot of games last year where we would be in it until the end, and somehow we would just either not really give up, but lose a lot of energy. We would lose energy, or the other team would step up more than we did, and we would just lose the game. So I think one of the biggest things is finishing games for us.
Well, we have the bodies to do that now. It wasn't, these guys played hard last year, and they gave it everything they had, but sometimes you need a break, even a mental break. They're in great shape. As you can see, Dakota doesn't really get tired. Nicole rarely asks for a sub. I forget she's out there, and then she's like, I need a break. But they're in phenomenal shape, so it's not a conditioning thing, but when you play the whole game, sometimes you're just mentally tired, and you need just that little blow to get out, get some water, refresh, towel off, and then you get right back in there. And a lot of times they say, Coach, I'm ready. It don't take them but a minute or two to get themselves back together, but you do need that break sometimes.
Bobby, you had 2 exhibitions, a chance to work out what you needed to. Do you feel you're where you wanted to be heading into a real game?
I feel confident. We're trying to give them confidence every day. As coaches, we have to make adjustments as well. in how we coach them, what we're telling them, how we're telling them, because we want them to look confident out there. And sometimes, you know, we have to adjust our methodology, to be honest, and make sure that we're not taking that confidence away from them, but also correcting when we need to. Sometimes you got to be coached. That's part of it. You got to be corrected, but there's a way to do it. And there's times to put the whip away and really just let them play a little bit and see what they can do. So I've been working on that because I know I get upset sometimes. I'm trying to smile more so they can have pictures of me smiling. But they got to give me something to smile about, right? So we're all working on being better, getting better in everything. Our defense, our offense, our attitudes, our coachability, you know, every facet, because that affects the game, believe it or not. And I don't want them to look scared, nervous, uptight. I want them to look relaxed and refreshed and like they know what they're doing. And sometimes coaches take that away from the kids. Just to be honest, that's true. So we don't want to do that because they've worked too hard to get to where they need to be.
Coach, before the game today, what was like the main thing that you told your players that you really wanted them to work on and get out of this game?
Just coming out with that intensity that we know they can come out with. You have to set the tone. You know, if you want to be the team you want to be, and you have these goals and you want to get to the NCAA tournament, every game is a dress rehearsal for that. So if you're not playing to that potential, no matter who you're playing, you don't play the opponent. You're playing yourself. You're trying to perfect your game. You're trying to perfect the things that you know you should be doing. That's why I'm on them more about what we're doing than the other team. Because if we handle our business, we can compete with anybody when we're playing the right way and in sync, like Dakota said, and together and everybody's relaxed, know what they're doing. So we work on the little things, just huddling up, dapping somebody up on the free throw line. I mean, those things are important. Because if you're doing that, you look like you're together. You look like you know what you're doing. So those are just the things we've been working on and trying to really just focus on that and not the refs and not the calls and not the bad plays. Move on, get to the next play. And as coaches, that's hard too. I'll be fussing about something for 10 minutes and they're like, Coach, give us the play. You know, I have to, oh yeah. You know, so we're all working on stuff. Work in progress.
Like pretty much every play, you can hear your bench standing up and calling out plays on defense and just cheering for the team. What do you think that says about your team's chemistry?
I'm glad you noticed that. It's good you noticed it because that tells them they're doing the right thing. You know, we've been working on that. That's important. That's how you beat people. When you're together, nobody can get in between you. If you make a mistake, you move on quickly when you're together. So I love that. I'm glad you noticed it. I hope the fans noticed it and everybody write that in the paper, write that in your article. Because we want our 6 recruits that just signed today to know that's our culture. That's our culture. A championship culture. Win or lose, we're going to be together. We're not going to be disjointed or blaming each other. We win together, we lose together. And you do everything together. It's got to be a team mentality. So that's a good compliment to them. They can go back and tell their teammates you said that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.